Good morning, Lincoln and YouTube. JT Serenity Farms prepping here. Well, y'all know that my dad had a fire the other day. One surviving goat. That's her down in the corner, hiding from the white one. Thought I'd give you a little video because the way they're acting reminds me of a herd gang mentality. This is what it's like taking in someone new into our group. Okay, I look good, don't I? Said no one ever. So, let's talk about herd mentality. While I watch these goats to see what kind of activity we have, there's a feeling out process. A couple of these goats were together for a couple months, and they had established who was in charge. Polly was in charge of her pen down at my dad's. When I got Molly and Oreo, they were already 2 years old and fully growed. And Polly and Molly did the goat tradition, rear up in the air, head butt, one time. Molly's a lot younger than Polly, but she's a big girl. They reared up in the air the second time, and in mid-air, Polly stopped, came down to the ground, bowed her head, turned, and walked away. In that instance, a new leader had taken over in Polly's pen, where she had been for 2 years with another goat and 20 chickens. The transition seemed very smooth after that. But I'm sure there were moments when we weren't all around that there was testing going on. Now, obviously, they can't be snarky and sarcastic and ask underhanded questions and try and get us to say things that can be turned around on us later. They have their own ways, but I've watched them, and we're not a lot different. They often will end it the old-fashioned way. Physical altercation, 2 or 3 headbutts, and the winner is the one usually still standing. One will usually give up. We're no different as humans, except we've been told, shamed by society, that handling things the old-fashioned way isn't allowed anymore. Well, after an SHTF, folks, you're going to see a lot of old-time traditions come back in spades. The problem we're going to have with a lot of the old-time traditions is the mentality now. It's not quite the same as our ancestors were. There was much more honor, dignity. You honored if someone beat you fair and square, and that doesn't happen a lot anymore because we have a generation or two that have been told no matter what happens to you, it wasn't your fault. Someone else is to blame. Here's your trophy. Now go back to mommy's basement with your crayons and your blankie and your teddy and scream at the sky. and stare at your basket weaving degree up on the wall. But let's say, for instance, we're not talking about 10 paces, turn around and shoot somebody between the eyes, dueling. We're going to just talk about my group is small. Your group is small. We're relatively close together. We know there's safety in numbers. We decide to meet and talk and see what our similarities and differences are. Is our attitude towards long-term goals for our community, are they the same? Are they even close to the same? Are they negotiable based on bringing in a new group? This isn't quite the same as just bringing in one member. This would be bringing in a whole group who has their own pecking order amongst their group already in comparison to your group. What will make it even more difficult is, say the other group is going to move to the location of my community. They're going to be uprooted from the safety that they had known. Maybe they'd only been there a short while, hadn't really got established, and it won't be that hard. But very likely it's someone's home that the community is based around. Those people may have a really hard time leaving and adjusting. I personally don't see a situation besides catastrophic something that wiped out every building on my property where my community is going to be, that I would say to my group, there's this place here, I'm going to meet with them, we need to think about leaving. We don't have the materials, the time, the manpower to rebuild here and then go. But that would be my only situation that I see. So there's going to be very likely some personality conflicts. Each group has a leader. Are the members of one group going to adjust? Adjust isn't the word I'm looking for. Are they going to want to listen to a member of another group who, for whatever reason, based on his security background, his experience, you've lost someone in that position, that you appoint them to a position within your hierarchy that maybe someone in your group thought they were going to get somewhere down the road? Now there might be some resentment. Even if this had been a total group, both grouped together discussion, there's going to be potential resentment, even if they don't express it at that time. And it might eat at them and eat at them. Even if you ask everyone to clear the air that day when you're making the decisions, it's still going to be there. That person may not say really what they're feeling because they don't want the rest of the group members to think they're a sore loser, they don't want to be part of the group, they're not going to cooperate, and they feel like they're slighted. So there are risk, potential dangers to bringing in other people. Are they stocked up with their own food, water, tools, supplies, method of self-defense, and are they able to bring all that with them? Or are they coming in with the clothes on their back and you've got food for 5 years for 10 people. Now you've got 10 more people coming in. Your food supply suddenly dwindles to 2.5. Yeah, you have more people for security based on the genders of the group, or just who's capable of actually doing some. You've got more people to help with chores. You've got more people to split wood, more people to haul water, more people to work on projects while other people are doing security. There's a lot of bonuses. Personally, if I had that exact scenario, I would want to interview me and a second or third member of my group, talk with another leader, a second or third member, sit down, meet initially, discuss goals, members in our group, their personalities, potential conflicts, meet again after having met back with our own community to discuss things and ask for questions they might want to know about another group. Then if the second meeting goes well, if possible, bring the groups to a neutral, potentially neutral site to meet. Although if they're going to be moving to you, they're going to know where you are if that's what you choose to do. Odds are if you're meeting them, they already know where you are. What you have to, a decision that has to be made is, if it's decided for some reason that the two groups won't be able to coexist and you turn them away, are they leaving? So you can see where all this has some risk. There's some downside, but there is with anything, right? There's a lot of upside. I personally, if we met with all the community members, I would want to interview each one of them individually. They're moving into our group. I have no problem if their leaders would like to interview our people individually. As I'm interviewing their people, I do not mind if one of their community leaders is sitting in the background listening to my line of questioning. As long as they don't interrupt, they can be there for each interview I do. Same on the other end. That's fine. I would sit there, let them question my people. I'm only there to make sure that there aren't questions asked that give away secrets of our group before we know that we trust that other group. That's not a bad idea. You got to have that. The security and safety of your group is priority number one. So we've made the decision. They have no food. Okay, that is probably going to be the toughest part, because you're cutting your complete supplies in half. Okay, sorry about that. We had a small glitch. I don't know if it kept running or not. And I stopped talking. So the scenario, I'm cutting my food supply in half. I do have twice the people now. Do I have the space for twice the garden? I have twice as many people to hunt. Is there enough game? Eventually there won't be, because everybody and their brother is going to be blasting whatever moves, sound shooting probably. So if you think you can grow enough the following year for 10 more people to be part of your group, I would say that food issues will likely be the deciding factor, because it doesn't matter if you have enhanced security, more hands to cut wood, more hands to bail water, to do laundry. If you cannot grow enough food after that group joins you to sustain you all the following year, then you're out of food. in a year and a half to 2, and you didn't grow anymore, or enough, I should say. So there's going to be some potential issues, but all in all, it's got to be a decision that you rely on the members of your community to make with you. And I'm sure I missed a couple factors that would be important. Like, share, subscribe, leave me comments, tell me where I missed, add something to this video so everyone who watches it can glean as much information from this as they can. Now, not everybody who watches this video is going to be a community leader. Most people are going to be part of a community, but it's still important factors that they need to think about should other people be coming into their group. And everyone's ideas are welcome in my group, because I am the leader, because A, it's my property, B, I've invested all the time, energy, and money, and I got a pretty good grasp on what I'm doing. Do I have it all down? No. I don't think we all ever will, but we're going to learn as we go, and I try to bring in people who add to the dexterity of the group and make us a better unit, because we have to do this all together. So, for now, JT signing off.